What I wanted to talk about was the 10 things that I've learned going through this. And privacy analytics is my fifth company. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. So I've had ups and downs. So I wanted to talk about the 10 things that I've learned going through this process as a way to encourage you and scare you. And these are things that I've observed that folks may not know when they get started. So the first thing I wanted to emphasize is that if you're a student or even for faculty, if you're looking at starting a company, you have to understand that this is a very serious commitment of time and effort. This is not a part-time thing or a hobby that you would do after your studies or after a job. I've seen a number of students attempt to do that, and it's really challenging to start up a company if you're not committed 200%. It just ain't gonna work. The second important thing, I think, is that you need to, it's all about the people. It's all about the team that you are able to attract and bring together. And if you're not able to attract good people, really your chances are limited. We've tried to hire people. I've tried to hire people who are much smarter than me. You can't be afraid of bringing in people who are much smarter than you, because that will help the company grow. Which really brings on the issue of the culture of the organization that you're trying to build. It's a soft thing. It's hard to put your finger on, but culture is very important, and it's something as a founder of a company you have to be careful of, and it gets baked in early on in the existence of the company. With respect to raising money, you have to start building relationships with investors early, a long time before you need the money. Banks won't help you. Banks will only help you when you don't need the money. When you need the money, it's investors, and you have to start building those relationships. There are good investors, angels in Ottawa, but you need to work on building relationships with them a long time before you think you will need financing. But the money is there. Not at the scale that you sometimes hear about in the papers or extreme labs, but there's definitely money to invest in startups in Ottawa. The other thing I think I'd like to emphasize is that technology is only a very small part of the success story. You don't get too excited about the technology and how great it is, because 80% of the work is not going to be around the technology. It's going to be around raising the money, hiring the team, doing the marketing, putting a sales team together. Technology, especially for the engineering graduates, is important, but it's by no means the most critical part, I would argue, of growing your company. And find a niche. It's much easier. Markets are smaller if you have a niche. The story is not as dramatic. You go to your investors and tell them I have a $10 billion market versus I have a $500 million market. But if you find a niche, the competition will be less, and your path will be a lot easier. So I would argue that focusing on a niche is quite advantageous. And of course, most importantly, have fun. If you're not having fun, then you're probably not doing the right thing. Thank you.